Hello there everyone. In this video we are going to learn how you can automate web scraping to collect the data of your target website and store it in an Excel file or any file of your preference. So for the example in this video we are going to use this website. It is a famous news website in Bangladesh, and we are going to do some practice here by collecting the news information to understand how web scraping works and how it can benefit you in different stages. So first I'm going to create a file, and as the code editor I'm going to use Windsurf, which is an AI assisted a development IDE or integrated development environment in brief. So it has AI capabilities, but we are currently going to do it manually so that you can understand how this works. So at first I'm going to create a file. Let's say we name it creating tutorial.py. So we are going to use Python, as it is one of the most popular programming languages for web scraping automation, and it is also easy to understand if you are new in programming. So if you are not familiar with Python, you can also look into tutorials on how Python works and how it allows you to develop different software. So let's jump right into our main information. So at first we are going to access the website and see which area interests us more. So let's say that we want to get some sports news, for example, and let's say that we want to know the titles from this particular section. So at first you have to study the website to understand how it is designed. So we are going to right click and then click on inspect element, and it allows you to check how the element is designed, and our instruction is to collect the title of the news and maybe the link to the news as well. So let's say that we want to find these titles, so make sure that you study the elements to find out how each of the element is designed or structured, so that we can find a common pattern to identify this value. So at first we are going to see, for example, we have an H3 plus, and for this one this has H3 as well, and let's try to find out if this section is separated. So here you can see we have the first section, so we are going to focus on isolating this section first. So let's go to the code, and we are going to import the requests library, and using this library we are going to open the website, and we are also going to use BeautifulSoup, as it is going to help us parse the data or find the data from the website response. So as soon as we access the website, it returns us the HTML values. So if I press Ctrl U, and you will be able to see the raw HTML data. So basically when we access the website, it is returned there, and let's create a function for this. So let's say that we have get HTML, and I have some snippet ready, so I'm going to speed up the process by running the snippet. You can type as you see here, and in the link we are going to pass the link. So I'm going to delete this, and if it is failed we return back. So here we are going to create a soap object by calling this function, and we are then going to pass this response. So basically what happens here is we make a request.get. That means we make a HTTP GET request to this particular link that is received by this HTML function, and we have header information to mimic that we are using browsers. and after then we get the text of the response, that is basically the HTML information of the web page and the soap area. So let me print this so that you can see how this actually works. So basically we use this type of coding style so that every time we access this we get to call this function, or if it is used as a separate module it can be used separately as well, but this is for another tutorial, so I'm not going to explain why this is for. You can also search in Google what is the use of this line and it will give you a better understanding. So let's focus on the main page. So here we are going to pass this link, and let's see what happens when we run this. So here you can see we have some character issues, so this can be solved by deleting this particular header, and now you will be able to see that we have regular text here. So let's isolate the data. So at first I'm going to remove this print statement. We have the soap. So soap is going to be used for collecting HTML data easily. So let's see this in real example so that you can better understand it. So at first I'm going to locate this section. So I'm going to say div id main. So our main base is here, and then we are going to find div class section. So what I'm going to do is I should write isolated section equal to soap.find div class section. So let's try this way to see what we have. So now I'm going to print the text of this isolated section. So I could do isolated section.text.strip, and it is going to print the text of the isolated area. So let's see. So really runner keeps things simple. Let's go back here, and here you can see we have this text, we have this text as well, also this too, a fifth return. So as you can see we have the isolated text here as expected, and now we are going to focus on collecting the title. So I'm going to check this. So here you can see we have h3 class title, and it is common in all of them, but in some cases it is h4 as well. So we have to check card content and title. It has card content too. So you have to find the most common parameter or most common element to be specific. So here you can see we have div class card content as the most common thing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to target this element, and let's go back to the code. And now that we have the isolated section as a separate HTML content, we can now find the text. So let's say that we have all titles equal to isolated section.find all. So this find all method allows us to find all occurrences of the element that has our given criteria, and the find method allows us to find just one element. So as we isolated the first section, we actually used this soap.find method, and as we need all the titles we are using find all. And as you saw, we have div element having the class card content. We are going to change it to div class card minus content. You can also copy this by double clicking here, then selecting the class name so that it is more better and error free. So now we are going to loop through the available titles that we found. So let's try to print the title.strip, text.strip, and hopefully the title should be displayed. And here you can see we can also see some extra text here, but all we need is the title. So let's isolate that again. So in all the title elements, we're going to, let's name it elements. Here the title should be title elements.find h2, or this is basically h3. h3 class title. So we are going to isolate this, and we can check if title is none, so that we can repeat this using title.find in h4. So now we could try to print the title. As you can see, we have the title ready, and let's go back to the code, page, and here you can see we have everything ready. And now let's focus on finding the link to the news. So here you can see we have hyperlink, so we are going to collect the hyperlink from here. So it is also available inside this HTML title elements, and for this we are going to check news link equal to this, and we would restrict it to some classes, but as you can see we don't have any classes in this HTML hyperlink, so we are going to say that okay. So here, as you can see, each of the title has this element inside of it, so this means that when we find the title element using this code, we have access to the hyperlink as well. So here, let's say that we have found the title. Now in this point we can write news link equal to title dot find a, and h equal to 2, and print news link, and this should be able to display the title as well. Title and the link to the news as well. So let's see how this works. And here you can see we have successfully collected the news link too, but we don't have the starting domain, so we have to do some formatting here by adding additional string to it and doing a concatenation. So now we will be able to see the exact link that has been found. So this is how you'll be able to use requests library and BeautifulSoup library to collect the data. And to install these libraries, you have to run the command pip install. So let me show you how to do that as well. So I'm going to open the terminal, click on new terminal, and here you have to type pip install requests es4, and this is going to install all these libraries. So I assume that you already understand Python to do this type of web scraping process, because it is going to require you some programming knowledge, and I think it was helpful for you to understand how this is actually done. and depending on your point of interest, you have to identify whether it by a class name or by the tag name. So this is how you can collect all the information. And if you want to collect all the details inside of this, you can simply go inside the code, set the link, and then try to figure out how this is designed. So here you can see we have article element containing all the text. So you could target this article element and then convert it to text. So let's see how this is done as well. So we are going to create another function and get full news, for example, and let's change it to the same method. So we are going to use the same approach here as well. So I'm going to copy this, as this is the same way here. And now you can locate the article ID by targeting this particular article ID. And also you can see we have the class name article section that is unique here. So let's do the full news text equal. So to find div, so let's confirm that it is an article. So we are going to look for article object that has this class named article section, and now try to print the full text. And here you can also call this function, and once it is inside this function, you can print between or news from link. And here you can see we have collected all the information, and let's save them in a CSV file for easier viewing. So let's create a list object named dataset. Inside this dataset, let's say datasets, so that we can keep the news data as well as the title too. So let's return this data back to a variable, let's say news text. And now we are going to save them in the datasets.japan title text and news text. So let's add the link to the news as well. So add a line named global datasets, so that we are referring to this datasets object. Once this is done, we are going to save the datasets to, let's say, for dataset, or maybe we could use pandas library here, import pandas spd. Let's say data frame equal to pandas data frame, and we have the column names like this, and to CSV index false. And if I run this, it is going to get all the news and the data inside of the news, and you have the CSV file generated. So if I open the folder, okay, let's debug the problem. Alright, so after some debugging, I was able to fix the problem that was actually being caused due to saving the data to CSV file. So I have instead converted it to XLSX file. So also I have added some texture strips so that we could get rid of some blank lines from the beginning and at the ending. So let's try to format the news text as well. So we are going to split the news text. Let's say news text equal to news text dot split by new line /n stands for new line, and here we are going to do /n dot join, and let's say text dot strip or text in news text split. So this should work, and if I run this now, you'll be able to see that we have all the data generated in the Excel file. Done. So if I open the file, you'll be able to see that we have everything ready. Oh, I forgot to alter it. If text dot. So using this condition, we are getting rid of empty lines so that it is more easily readable. And here you go. So here you can see we have all the details collected and everything appearing easily. So this is one of the way you can collect data from websites using web scraping automation and using these libraries. And in some of the cases you might have to use browser automation, but let's put that for any future video. And that's it in this video. I hope you were able to learn how to automate different tasks using web scraping automation and by analyzing the web page content. So thanks for watching, and if you have any question, you can write down in the comment section.